Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Nashwana Rasani, and today I'm going to talk about verbal and non-verbal communication between Indonesia and Japan. Both Indonesia and Japan are high context culture, but even though there are both high context, the way we communicate is actually quite different. And as future English teacher, it's really important for us to understand this difference. So, let's get started. First, what does high context cultures mean? It means communication relies on context and implicit meanings. People don't always say things directly. Both Indonesia and Japan are like this, but they are still different. Let me show you. In Indonesia, we are more open and expressive. We are not afraid to talk to strangers. In Japan, they are more careful and indirect. Another different Japan has Keigo, which is a special honorific language to show respect. Indonesia doesn't have this. There is also Aizuchi, small responses like saying yes to show you are listening. Japanese people use this much more than we do. And about time, Indonesians prioritize relationship over schedule. But also Japanese people are very serious about punctuality. Now, let's talk about nonverbal communication. This is where things get really interesting. First, greeting. In Indonesia, we shake hands, but in Japan, they bow. And there are 3 levels of bowing: Eishaku, Keirei, and Saikeirei, depending on how formal the situation is. Eye contact is different too. In Indonesia, eye contact shows honesty and confidence, but in Japan, staring too long can be considered impolite or aggressive. Another funny thing, when we point to ourselves, Indonesia point to our chest, but Japanese people point to their nose. Facial expression, in Indonesia we are more expressive, but in Japan, they are keep their expression more controlled, especially in formal situation. And personal space. Indonesians stand closer and often touch each other when talking, but Japanese people prefer more distance and are not used to being touched. Now, let me give you some real example of misunderstanding that can happen. First, in Indonesia, students maintaining long eye contact with their Japanese professor. In Indonesia, this shows confidence, but the professor might feel uncomfortable because in Japan this is not polite. Second, an Indonesian student offers a handshake, but the Japanese person bows instead. Both of them feel awkward because they don't know how to respond. Third, an Indonesian student frequently touch their Japanese friend's shoulders. In Indonesia, this shows closeness, but Japanese friends might feel awkward because they are not used to being touched. Fourth, in Indonesia, we make things silence mean disagreement, but in Japan, silence is actually a sign of respect. So, an Indonesian might think their Japanese friend is angry, but they are actually just being polite. This small difference can create big misunderstanding. So, why does this matter for us as future English teachers? First, in our classrooms, we might have students from different backgrounds. If a student avoids eye contact or stays quiet, we should not think they are not confident or paying attention. It might just be their culture. Second, we need to promote intercultural understanding and create an inclusive classroom. If we understand this different, we can avoid misinterpreting our student behavior. Third, even though Indonesia and Japan are both high context culture, they have many different in communication. Understanding this different helps us communicate before and avoid misunderstanding. As future teachers, being culturally aware is really important. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you for attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.